Unmute myself, swear.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the third episode of the NASRA 360 Racing Podcast. It's February 1st, 2023. We took a couple weeks off on the podcast, but we've missed a lot. We're going to talk about a lot. We got our guest, Michael McKinnon, on tonight, and we got my co-host, Stephen Thomas. Say
Hey
what's up
guys,
to them.
what's up, Michael? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are we all getting along this evening?
Oh man, we're here. We're here, man. It's Wednesday, the only day I don't have anything to do with the family. We're gonna hang out and talk to Mr. McKinnon tonight.
Heck yeah.
I
We
just
got,
happen to be home, so
we got a lot of questions to ask Mr. McKinnon tonight, that's for sure.
I probably got an answer or two.
So, before we get into all of that, let's just talk about what has happened since we've been gone over the last couple of weeks. We've had a couple of races. We've had a lot of stuff go on in NASRA. Uh, I guess we could really talk about Friday night series so far. So Friday night kicked off. We're two races in now. So we missed a couple weeks. We're two races in. We've had two different winners. We've raced Daytona the first week. We raced Pocono last week on Friday night. Nathan Maurer, who has been just dominant in NASRA. He won 3 straight on Monday night, and then he came and pretty much won 4 straight. 4 straight NASRA starts for him. He won 4 straight on Friday night, so it was 4 in a row. 4 for 4, basically. So he tore up. He's been tearing it up. And then week 2, we went to Pocono, and it was the Steven versus Steven show at the end of the race. Steven
At the
Thomas in
end,
here racing for the win against former NASCAR driver Steven Light. So if y'all
yeah,
don't know who
Stephen.
Steven Light is, he's a former Xfinity Series driver, former Truck Series driver. He come over here to race with us.
Was he Rookie of the Year in Truck or Rookie of the Year in Xfinity? What was
He
it?
was Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series
In the
2012.
Cup Series. What he didn't he win something in the Xfinity or was that a
He's
different?
got one win in the Xfinity Series.
He dominated Pocono, but what he didn't do was be patient, right, Michael? You know me and that patience, Michael. Ran
Well,
that
we
boy down.
we know you're patient, man, but I think a little lap traffic got to him. I think you learned a little something off of 3 finally because he was dominating off of 3 all night. And
Everybody had me off of 3 all night, and then all of a sudden I'd found something. Yeah,
well, we know 3 at Pocono, that makes your whole lap, right? You got to get all the way down the straightaway to make time.
you
So,
got to get that run off of it just to get
yeah.
that. Yeah,
So whatever he had going on was it was killing guys. They couldn't even stay in the draft to stay with him. So it was impressive to see you knocked about a second and a half off the last 3 laps,
yeah,
plus that little bit of life traffic, and then you were there at the end for sure.
yeah. What's funny is I looking back, I wish I wouldn't have gotten so close when he hit the wall. If I'd have had more time to make a decision, I would have blew by him. But I guess where I was only a car length behind, I didn't have time for that decision when he hit the wall, man. I didn't know what to do. I went right into the back of him.
Well, I
Yeah.
was there. I was right there in the booth and got to looking at the replays. There really wasn't anything I think you could have done.
There
He
wasn't.
he he did a smart thing. I don't think it was so much a block as like he said, make you either stay high or low.
Yeah, it was a
And
block, Michael.
yeah, okay, it was a block. It was a block. We'll go there.
That's why
But
you apologize 17,000 times because
you're
it was a
always
block.
you're always a clean guy, so we know that. You could have dumped him there. Could have dumped him in 3. Actually, looked like you tried to dump him in 3. To
I
be
ain't gonna
honest.
lie, I was mad and tried to dump him without dumping both of us going into 3, and it slowed my momentum too. So I should have just
Yeah.
went on around him on the outside. I think I would have beat him on the line because I had a run on him coming out of 3, even though I hit him. But whatever, man, that was a good race. I didn't think I had anything at all for a top 5, much less running down Stephen Light, the dude that uh, had it for him was Keith Bradley that race. He was the only one that could actually keep up
Yeah.
with him in the early run, but something happened to him. Newbert, do you know exactly what happened to Keith?
Um, I may have had a little something to do with that.
Yeah,
Had a little bit of shifting mishaps right in the middle of that race. So
man.
I
Did you
restarted.
let the old lady restart or what?
Oh
She couldn't
man,
find
I'm
the
telling you.
gears
So
or
I was top 3 I was top 4 most of that race, top 5 most of that race, and then Keith had lost some spots on pit road. I think he slid through his pit box. I don't remember. He came over the radio and said, but I can't remember exactly what he did. So he was restarting like back of
oh
the top
yeah, he
10.
did, didn't he? Because yeah, he would have started second or at that. So
Yeah,
yeah, he made a mistake to put himself in that little mess anyway. But
yeah. And then I restarted second, and when I went to shift from second to third gear, I'm on this new shifter, and I've been using this new shifter for probably about a month and a half, 2 months. Chris Blanchard actually sent me this shifter, and I was going from second to third gear, and I just completely missed third gear and went straight to first.
Oh, speaking of Keith, he had to get in here and put the 2 cents in before I could do it. I already said it, Keith.
Yeah, you know Keith's
You know,
coming in.
I already said it, buddy. We know you had it, but you wasn't
Y-
there at the end, buddy. You wasn't there at the end.
No, it was unfortunate what happened there. It just looked like you pulled a parachute and about the top 12 were scattering for everything they had.
Oh man, me and I think Jeff was right in front of me on that restart, and me and him were on the bottom of the track up against the wall and just squeezed through it. And all of a sudden, Keith Bradley came flying down and drilled Jeff right in front of me. I don't know who got into Keith, but like I think Keith was almost through it, and somebody hit him when he was trying to get
Yeah.
through. So that was a
I
big
think
mess right
Robbie
there for sure.
I think Robbie got a little bit of it of him and he got airborne. He landed on Lumpkin, I think. Oh, I don't know. He landed right on somebody. He was airborne.
Yeah, he landed on Lumpkin. Yeah, that's what it was.
It's crazy.
That was
But congratulations.
that was
You know, go ahead.
that was my fault. Yeah, I guess if I can take out most of the field, that's the way to do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got the other teammates finished top 5 because you knocked all the good people out. So
I know it.
we'll take it. We'll take it.
The Keith says
Yeah.
Robbie got him at the last second.
How'd you do Friday night, Michael?
I was in the booth, man. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
on
that's
the
right, that's
road
right,
and
that's right, that's right.
I helped them call it. That's a shame because I love that track. It's fun as can be. So
Yeah, I
would have
went
been a
back
good
and
run.
I went back and watched the broadcast, and Michael called it. He's like, "Yeah, Adam just missed a gear."
Yeah, he knew it right away. I knew it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then let's see what else happened in that race. I think towards the end of the race, there was actually a protest. CJ Fondal protested Jose Luis Rivera for basically, I think they went into the tunnel turn, and Jose just, let's just be honest, Jose did what Jose does, and he dive bombed CJ, and then pretty much took him out, and so CJ protested him. He was protested, and the appeals panel decided not to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not to pursue any
Uphold.
penalties. Yeah, they
They
upheld.
didn't uphold it.
Yeah. So he didn't
Yeah, I
get
remember
penalized for
watching
that.
that replay. I mean, Jose threw it in there as usual, and CJ, honestly, man, the past 2 weeks, I've seen at Daytona with me. He took me out of Daytona, and in that situation, knowing who's behind you and seeing that much of a run, you got to have some sort of awareness out there, man. And he don't have much, in my opinion. So I think that's
Yeah.
on both parties, which is probably why the penalty got, thrown away.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm
yeah,
not
that,
going to
that
jump. I don't want to jump on either one of them. I know when I first saw it as being on the board and I saw it, I mean, Jose had so much momentum. Yeah, you want to have, your awareness. In defense, I'll put a little defense up there. Maybe I'm the only one. It looked like he cut to the bottom, expecting CJ to go out to the wall a little more, and then he would have the inside going into 3. And CJ just didn't get outside far enough, and that was the end of it. But he looked like he was 20 mile an hour faster.
Oh, he was. He entered that tunnel way harder than CJ. They both took a completely different angle in there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm a little angry at CJ for week 1, so so I'm not mad about that at all. He ran right through me at Daytona, boys. Right
Oh,
through me. But
Daytona's Daytona. I got
yeah.
ran over
that's
too.
that's true. But
I get ran over every time we go to a plate track. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter where you're at. I get ran over.
I've been here for 20 races. Through all the seasons, I finished 1 under power.
Oh,
So that's,
yeah,
that's my luck. Doesn't matter where I go, to the back or the front.
the first time he's looked faster than anyone. So let's see.
Like I said, he carries some speed, but we got
So-
to figure out how to control it. Jose definitely can go fast.
After 2 weeks, in the Friday Night Truck Series, y'all feeling pretty good about that, I guess?
What's that in points?
Just the season, just the season in general, how it's gone so far through 2
Man,
races.
we are season 6 into an awesome little series. I don't see how it could go wrong, man. We're rolling with Friday nights. We got to get the rest of these rolling. But
I know it.
Yeah,
I know Friday night's going to be a good season every
Yeah.
season. I'm excited for it.
Well, and it's a good thing, like you said, Stephen Light dominating right there. He's going to be tough competition for everybody. We know it, and that's good for Eric's team. They haven't had a lot of wins. They haven't had a lot of call-outs for the BP for autism guys, and
Yeah, that's true.
it gets them,
It's their first
some
win.
recognition.
Yeah, their first
100%.
NASRA win for that team. So I know.
100%.
I was talking to season 1 champion Jason Higginbotham today about Stephen Light, and how dominant he was, and it's going to be crazy to try to beat him all season. So yeah, man,
Yep.
that's going to be the mission, man. Honestly, I think being a newcomer, I kind of hate it because I've heard it a couple times from everybody else about how we're chasing Stephen Light, and I'm like, well,
Mm,
Stephen Thomas just won a championship. Why aren't we chasing Stephen Thomas? But
Exactly, right?
yeah.
It's Stephen Light this year again, or somebody else, the new guy again. We got rid of one and entered another, but
Uh,
that's fine. We're gonna run them down. The swim's looking good, and Friday night I want to stick with it. Motorsports is looking good. Oh, Stephen Thomas or not, I think stick with it. Motorsports is looking good on Friday night.
they were looking. They probably would have had 4 trucks in the top 5 had one guy not completely just forgot how to shift the gear.
Steven got all the shout outs for Steven today.
Yeah, he does,
I'm a
don't
little confused by that right there.
he? Yeah.
I just got a little confused.
So let's
It's all
see.
good.
Let's
I
talk
think
about
it's let's start calling him Stefan because that's pretty much how it's
Stefan.
spelled anyway. So that's Stefan Light this season until he
No,
has
I
his
was
seat.
talking about Steven calling out Steven. Oh, now he's
Still a little
confused
confused.
again.
Still a little
Call it.
confused here.
Give yourself a shout out, Ross. Give yourself a shout out.
All
Yeah,
right,
buddy.
so on to Monday night. The Monday night Truck Series, Sim Racer Hub Truck Series had its All Star race.
That was a fun watch. I watched that race
Did you
Monday
watch
night.
that race? That
Yes,
race
I
was
did.
miserable for me. It's Talladega.
Was it?
It's
Well, you
Talladega.
know what? Bringing up that reminds me of something. That was a very fun watch as far as drivers go. Everybody put on a heck of a show. There was one guy that I wanted to bring up, Tim Hammond. He put on a show Monday night. Was up there running with the leaders late and pushing and working back and forth. So that was one guy I like to see doing well. And you were in the front pack, Adam, and something happened.
Uh,
And the broadcast completely missed it and didn't go back to find it because there was a big pack up there after the green flag pit
you're
stop. So
talking
then
about the end of
something
the
happened
race? The end of the
and you
race?
got separated. Yeah, and the broadcast
I
never
was
showed it.
pushing Brady on the outside line, and Chris Blanchard was right behind me, and we were in the turn, and Blanchard hooked my left rear and turned me around, and the
Okay.
broadcast missed it because I went back and watched the broadcast missed
Yeah,
that one.
broadcast completely missed it. I even asked him. I said something happened to the leading pack. Go back and check that out, and we
Yeah,
didn't get it. But
Blanchard hooked me in the left rear, but it was all good. He come back and apologized to me, and it was all good. It was just the All Star race. So, Steve Barnett. So here's the controversy from the All Star race Monday night, and we're gonna go back and talk about the points race that happened the week before after we talk about this All Star race. But Monday night there was 2 green white checkered restarts at the end of the race. Brady LaBeouf crossed the finish line first in the race, but when the NASRA officials went back and looked, Brady LaBeouf, Mr. Head Man in charge, had jumped the restart. He had fired before they got to
man,
the restart zone. So the next day, NASRA says, "Oh, Brady, after reviewing that race, you jumped the restart. We're going to have to take that win away from you." And so
mm,
Steve Barnett, who actually finished second, across the line second, was named the winner and brought home $100. So that,
yeah, that sucks for Mr. Brady, man. Like I said, I watched that and I seen that. I wasn't sure exactly how they were going to go about it, but yeah,
Yeah, I
that
wasn't able to
sucks.
watch it, so I didn't know what happened with that series.
yeah. So that was,
And he
other
did
than,
good too, because he was very, very patient the whole last like 7, 8 laps. Brady was. He was
yes.
kind of hanging out in the back six of those people, just kind of pushing Hess and getting Hess up there. And then, a little mistake happened in front of Brady, and he took advantage of it. So that kind of sucks that he jumped the restart like that, because he was being very patient. Did
You,
good
you
Yeah,
yesterday.
know,
Brady's one of the better super speedway guys here.
yes.
He's always caught up in something,
I
but
was just about to say
super
that.
good at it.
I was just about to say that. The league talks a lot about upfront motorsports and how they're always at the end of these plate races. But one guy who's been at the end of a lot of them recently has been Brady.
Yeah, he's good at it. He has been since the very beginning.
Yeah,
He's had a horseshoe stuck up somewhere recently, and he's had the good luck, and he's been there at the end of all of them here recently.
No doubt.
with age comes patience, I guess, because he is one old son of a gun.
Yeah, he is. He
Oh,
is.
he got nothing on me, boys.
Yeah,
Nothing on
well,
me.
yeah, but he shows it. You don't show it so much, Michael. You look, you know what I'm saying? You don't look old.
That's why I got all the light behind me.
Yeah. Old Brady, man, he's
But
getting up there. We're gonna
other
have
than
to
that,
we're gonna
that
have to
was a
take it
pretty
easy on him.
fun. Yeah, other than that, that was a pretty fun All Star race on Monday night. Something else that happened, I guess the week before, we went to Homestead, and that was one crazy crazy night at Homestead. So Robbie Richards ended up winning that race at Homestead, and so there was a lot of I think there was a lot of wrecks in that race. So I remember the
There
first
was one
stage.
big one.
Yeah, the first
One big one.
stage was dominated by Justin Lumpkin, who I don't know if anybody's watched a lot of NASRA races. I know a lot of the guys at NASRA know, but a lot of the NASRA races at Homestead, there's one guy who's always up front at Homestead. It's Justin Lumpkin. He is really good at that place, and he was
That's very true.
dominating that race early on. He won the first stage, and then in the second stage, I believe he was caught up in a crash. And I don't
Yep.
remember what started that crash. I want to say it was Barnett and maybe Hunter Parsons were involved in the incident. But
They were involved, but somebody got loose coming out of 4 and kind of stacked it up.
yeah,
And then there was a little contact, and it was just a huge pile up going into 1. Well, it was about halfway down the front straights, actually, going into 1. Took out a whole lot of good trucks.
yeah. And then, so after that, I know I actually got up in the second stage and I was up front for a little bit. I got passed by, I think it was Robbie Richards who actually ended up passing me, or Sean Hamilton, one of the other ones. But those guys were pretty strong all race long. Robbie really showed his strength at the end. He led like 44 laps of that thing. He picked up the win. Nathan Maurer finished second right behind him. Nathan was going for 4 in a row on Monday night, so Robbie was able to keep him from doing that.
Yep.
That was Robbie's second win of the season. It's his first one since the season opener at Daytona. So congratulations to Robbie on that. Robbie gets himself into trouble sometimes. So it's good to see him kind of get a win, I guess.
Well, I mean, Robbie's aggressive, and he can once in a while go over the bounds, but
Yeah.
he's always got speed. I don't think he ever intends to hurt anybody or run into anybody. It just he's a super aggressive driver, and that's all you can say. He's
Yeah, that's
fast.
cool. He got a win. That's good for him. I know last season he was struggling, man, to finish races. He was in a bunch of stuff for sure.
I do remember.
Yeah, I mean, and it happens to guys.
Yeah, you definitely go through slumps in racing, just like any other sport for sure.
Yep, no doubt.
Uh, yeah. So let's see. Robbie won that. Nathan Maurer got second, and I believe he is still. Oh, actually, we can show everybody the Monday night point standings. So here we go. Nathan Maurer is the points leader. He finished second Friday night, so he had 3 wins in a row, finished second. He's got a 5-point lead over Justin White. I believe he just took it from Justin White. Justin White's kind of been in a slump. He started off the season really strong. He busted out a couple wins early on. He's kind of fell off into this slump since then.
So this is updated after the
This is updated
race?
after Homestead, the last points race that Monday night had.
And are they just like Friday as far as winning you're in?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Does Brady have a win?
Brady does. Does
Kyle
Brady have a
Hess,
win?
I think Brady does have a
Jason
win.
I think he
Morales?
does.
Is it 16 going into the playoffs?
Yes, it is. And then,
Yep.
so we don't have the actual playoff point stands. We'll try to get that
Because it's not
next
far
week.
from playoffs in that league,
There's
correct?
4 more races until the playoffs start. So we've got
okay.
Indianapolis coming up, Kansas coming up,
Chris Blanchard up there in the top 10. I like it.
Worldwide
Ryan Meza
Technology.
up there.
and Las Vegas. Those are the remaining 4 races. So Robbie's coming on strong. I mean, so Robbie and Nathan Maurer are teammates. Justin White races on Brady's team. So those guys, he's kind of started to turn it up here recently. So he's third in points. Justin White's second. I think he just lost the points lead to Nathan Maurer. Brady's fourth. So there's 4 races left until the playoffs start.
Raul Meza is a name that has been popping up a lot lately. He has gotten very fast in the past 6 or 7 months, man. That guy's getting good.
Oh, he is 100% the most improved driver in the
Yeah,
series.
I
Right
must
in.
say,
I mean,
as of today, I
gotten
must say
great.
that's definitely an option of most improved for sure.
100%.
Definitely. Raul, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Raul's
And-
I have
gotten
seen
so
him up
much
there
better.
around me a lot. I remember the first 4 seasons. I'd never even seen him up there. And last season, end of last season, and beginning of this season, he's all around me. And I'm kind of don't. It's one of those drivers, Michael. We talk about being around certain people all the time, so you build this trust and
Yep.
what you can do with them. And Raul's one of those. I have no clue what I can do with him, but I've seen him up there a lot here lately. So
Chris
Well,
Blanchard
and
as well.
I've raced with Roll quite a bit lately. I used to be able to get away from him, and he's improved enough now that I'm racing with him a lot, and
Yeah.
I've got a lot more trust in what it used to be. It's just he's gotten so much better.
And where was we at? I think it must have been Poca Friday night. Me and him were switching back and forth, and he did really well with me. So yeah, I'm starting to build a little bit of trust with him and racing with
Yep.
him. But there's some guys out there on that track that when I see them and I'm around them, I either hurry up and get past them and go, or I
Yeah,
get the stay back away from them for a second, let them mess up. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Chris
Uh,
Blanchard has also improved a lot. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. You know how much
oh
he's
yeah,
improved and come
yeah, I
along.
mean, that's for sure.
He made a
But as
bonehead
far as
move in the All Star race. I won't.
he's always been mid pack, and he's just now putting himself up in their front. But Raul's coming from back to the front in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah,
Kyle Hess is coming. You know, I think he's having a good run in that series on Monday nights. I think if I have to pick a sleeper guy for the playoffs, it's got to be Kyle Hess.
yeah. He's a
I don't
silent
know.
killer guy. He
I don't.
just hangs
Kyle,
back there. He's super
I
patient.
was about to say the same thing. He's a little bit too passive, isn't he, Michael? There's no aggressiveness in Kyle.
Well, I
He's
mean,
always up there, but
yeah, I
he
like
never
the
really
way he
pushes.
race. I like the way he races. Always something circumstances get it. You know, if he saves tire, a caution comes, and then
Yeah,
it,
yeah. It
that
always
didn't
puts
do.
him in great spots.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because I think he's just fantastic. I love the way he drives. Always have.
I don't think he's my champion pick, but I think he's a sleeper pick on me to get to the
Yeah.
final 8, final 4, maybe even.
We got a Meza fan in here. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. Cody Knott says. That's Cody Knott
100%.
says must have been that team switch to Warrior Racing.
That's what did it.
That's what did
That's
it, man.
the paint. Yep, the new paint.
That's
That's
what
what
did
did
it.
it.
That's what pushed Blanchard over the top two, man. Going to over the top designs put him a little bit faster.
Well,
I
those are
tell you,
good
man.
guys to learn from. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, the truth is he learned from straight powerhouse the season before, and now he's jumped into the driver's seat. So
Oh,
Oh,
that's what really
another
happened, Mike.
break the arm, break the arm.
Yeah, listen, dude. Somebody's got to do it. That's about the only one that's going to,
No, everybody's improving a ton. That's what I like to always watch since the beginning of the whole thing. That's my favorite thing to see.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. How much people improve. I mean, you look at guys
Absolutely.
like Zach Cartwright. He's sitting there talking in the chat right now. That is one guy that he is improving over time. He come into the league rusty, kind of a beginner in iRacing, but he's gotten better. He's not causing wrecks every week or getting in people's way and having people cuss him as they pass him by, shooting the middle finger out the window when they pass him by.
Whoa. Hopefully we can talk this way about CJ Funda here in a few months.
They'll all get it. Got to give them time, I guess. A little bit of
Yeah.
time.
So, all right, let's see. So that's Monday night. Thursday night, the Xfinity Series. They just finished week 4. Steven, you raced Thursday night. I didn't race. I know it was complete domination by Ted Wade.
Yeah, for
Basically, won both the
And a
stages. I think he led all but 2
boring
laps in that race.
It was a tough one to get through, man. You got to have a lot of patience to get through a race like Coda,
Yeah.
for sure, man.
Yeah, Circuit of the Americas. It was rough.
I got
I
out of
was-
the seat and my knee was cramped. I was sore. I was done.
I was calling that race, and you could just see how hard. Even Ted in the lead, he looked real stable, but man, that wheel back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
He was sawing his way around there, but my goodness, what speed he had, man! He was
Gonna say,
just
to
up
go
and
that fast. I know
gone.
he was wore out, man.
Yeah, he was up and gone, man.
Yeah. And nothing for nobody had anything for him for sure. Pappas was really good there. I wanted to touch on Haney. Keith Haney was very, very fast there. A top 3 truck for sure. And for some reason, I've tried to reach out to him and see what it was, but for some reason, he pulled off the track Thursday night at Coda and never came back on.
Yeah.
I haven't
I'll tell you
heard from him
what,
since, so I hope
here's-
Haney's doing all right.
Here's my guess on that. We know Rhett ended up getting a meatball. He hit a couple of those turtles. And during the broadcast, I saw Keith hit the turtles 3 times hard. So my guess would be he got some
Damage?
sort of. I would assume he got some damage.
Yeah, it had to be
on
damage
those.
because I know just by going off track or touching those things wasn't a
Yeah.
black flag. I'd done it a bunch, but I didn't hit those turtles like you were talking about. But going off track, I know I didn't get a black flag. So you think he
Yeah.
got damage from the turtle?
I'm going to assume that he got some sort of meatball flag damaged hard
Possible,
from
I
the
guess.
turtle.
That's what I know.
'Cause
Rhett had some sort of damage and had a.
I
black
saw
flag,
it.
had to pull
Yeah. Rhett said that
We
he had
saw it.
gotten ran over by Kerry Trabue.
That's possible.
He said he missed his braking zone and Kerry had ran him over, and that's what gave him the meatball flag.
I know he was
Yeah.
running me down, and then he just disappeared, pulled off the track, never came back on. I was like, "Yeah, see you, Rhett."
Wow. Yeah, he's the points leader too by
Oh,
32
there's the point.
points. So Rhett says, I talked to him earlier today about all that, and he was like, "Man, I would have had a bigger points lead if I wouldn't have gotten took it out like that."
Yeah, he went from third to what, 14th or something like that. So yeah, he lost 12 points or so there.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got a 32-point lead over Ted. He hasn't got a win yet, but
That is such a stacked little series right there. Little.
that is I'm telling the Xfinity series is a tough series. The broadcast can't see the points, but we can get them out there next week. We'll try to get it up like we had the Monday night points. But you got guys like Rhett Tucker, Ted Wade. You got you in there, Steven, Dustin Scruggs, Hunter Parsons. No, I'm just kidding. Hank Caston. Got some good guys in there. Chase
Hey,
Caber.
got some great guys.
We got Chase Caber running in that series. Haley Deegan's boyfriend. He's ran 2 races. So he's not full time.
Yeah, let's what? You know what? I'll leave it alone.
You'll leave that one alone, huh?
I'll leave it alone.
So
I guess.
Yeah, we kind of know what happened with that. We'll let that one slide.
Yeah.
For now,
Why though? Why?
We can
That,
talk about
I
it.
don't-
Why do we
I
let
don't
it
know.
slide? Yeah, so Chase
That's what the podcast is for.
purposely spun out and
That's what it
caused
looked
a
like.
caution because he ran out of gas. Am I correct? Or was about to run out of gas?
He got a meatball flat tire.
A
And was
meatball
gonna-
flat tire. I'm not sure how you do that exactly, but
He
either
stayed
way,
out. He stayed out 64 laps on a set of tires.
Oh wow, is that what it was?
Because on the broadcast, we thought he ran out of fuel.
He blamed it on
And-
Haley, didn't he?
It may be. I don't know.
He blamed the wreck on Haley.
All I know, yeah, I heard the same thing. All I
watched that.
know is I'm watching it. I'm broadcasting it. He starts swerving on the back stretch, and he can easily pull down, go in the pits, but self-spun himself in 3, and I'm not I'm not going to say anything else. That's what it looked like to me.
It looked like he tried to wreck and couldn't completely do it, and then
Exactly.
did it again. You know what I mean? So,
That's exactly what it looked like.
yeah.
But-
Yeah, I seen that a few 3 or 4 days after, and I
Yeah.
didn't hear anything about it in between the race and me watching it. So when I seen that, I was definitely curious on what happened and why nothing did happen. But I don't like that. I like Michael's reaction. He had a great reaction in the booth that day. He's like, I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. That's a dumb move or that's a bad move.
Oh yeah.
And I really liked his reaction because that was
Hunter
do that. That's not acceptable.
Hunter just cleaned it up for us. He said Hunter Parsons commented on here and said he said that Haley was cleaning and unplugged his wheel mid-session.
Nah, bro, the wheel was going back and forth. If you unplug the wheel, it's going to go hard left.
Yeah, it's gonna go one way.
Say he surely made it down pit road fairly easily once he spun out. It was weird.
He's lying, so he did that and he lied about it. You at least got to fess up to it, man. I don't.
Yeah.
You got at least
Chase.
fess.
Not a good start, buddy. Not a good start, man.
I don't know. I don't know. You think they? I don't know. I don't know what their living situation is, but I guess it's not fair to say you think they'd have a maid cleaning instead of Haley cleaning.
Oh no.
No.
That's not safe to say.
That's not really fair to say, is it?
Dude? That
Nah.
means they clean their own. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You got a one-room
Anyway.
studio, man.
That's a bad start for Mr. Chase. Hopefully he can make that up.
He
for the
hasn't raced since that
NASRA-
race, has he?
NASRA community in the
Yeah.
future, right? Somehow.
I don't
Yeah.
think we've seen him since that race.
Yeah.
I
Have we
mean,
not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's not a good look.
And-
But
you're
all
right.
Come
I mean, that's
come
what
on
the pod.
back, Chase, and make it up, man.
I mean, this is what the podcast is for. But when I saw it live, I couldn't believe it. I've seen a lot of things manipulate. We've seen drivers block hard. We've seen guys disconnect in the middle of track, and always been a penalty. And then we watched the self spin right there. It was no question about it.
Did we touch on that yet? Because I don't think we've had a podcast since. I think it was Kyle Hess that got his stuff unplugged or something happened. His wheel turned completely left and his brakes locked up, and he stopped right in front of Keith Bradley in a caution.
It was right after the big one there with about 10 to go.
Keith
But
got
yeah.
through a big one just to run into someone that I guess blacked out. And
His wheel actually disconnected, and boom, it was over.
Yeah, so that's what happens when it gets disconnected. Okay.
Correct.
Not this number.
And then drive right into the pits.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
Pretty
here we
easy.
go. I signed him up before then. I'm not sure.
What?
I'm not even keeping up with the.
Oh, Hunter Parsons is saying we got to go to sensitivity training now, and Brady says he signed up all three
Oh,
of us before they went live.
yeah, we're all set.
We're
We
all
got that
signed for sensitivity training.
we got the NDA signed. We got the whole thing.
Oh man, that's great.
You goofy.
All right.
That's
All right,
great.
so that's Thursday night. That's Chase taken care of. You know what we haven't talked about is the fact of why Michael's here tonight. The whole point in bringing him in and him uh, going off of where we left off last week with Brady.
Yeah, yeah, Michael. So if y'all didn't watch the previous episode with Brady, Brady told us a lot about the history of NASRA, how NASRA got started. Michael was a key part of that. That maybe a lot of new people that come into the league don't know that about Michael. Is that Michael? If it wasn't for Michael, you also wouldn't have NASRA. That's what Brady said in his interview. So we wanted to bring Michael in to talk about to get Michael's side of how NASRA got started up, how NASRA's gotten to where it's at today, and then the role he's played, and just all of that.
What do you want to know, fellas?
Well,
Any
Michael,
questions?
so I don't know. Start from the beginning. Tell us your side of what you
Yeah,
think.
your side of it. Brady kind of told us why and how
Well,
it all started,
Yeah.
but I mean, why did it for you? Why did you start Nazareth?
well, I'm the same as Brady. I saw a post going down the road one day at certain leagues looking for some drivers, money league, and we wanted in. So I jumped in, and that's where I met Brady. That's where I met several guys we've ran with. Nick Sacco. We ran with Garrett Maines, that's on the Coke series now. We ran with Derek Fulton, lots of guys.
Mm.
Uh, we ran for a few weeks, and as Brady said before, we were paying a premium. Man. It was $25 a race. It was a lot of guys were throwing money in. This person was hoping to set up and he did, an app on Roku and Fire Sticks to where you could watch the races and everything. And then a question of money kind of popped up. We started doing some numbers and nothing would add up. So
Go back to that. You said an app on a Roku.
yeah,
What was that about?
well, you can go on Roku right now and you can look up the particular name of this race league and his app's there. Same as a Hulu app, same as everything else.
Oh.
I think it cost $900 or something. I threw a
Is
little
that a
money.
way? Is that a way to you're saying to broadcast your league or whatever, or
Okay,
to
it wouldn't broadcast it live. It
not
could do it the
broadcast,
next.
but
It would do it the
I
next
see.
day. You could take the broadcast, put it on the Roku channel for the next day. It wouldn't go live there, but you could take that broadcast and put it on Fire
Right.
Sticks and Roku's and smart TVs,
So it's
wherever
more
you
of an
want it.
advertisement thing on him as far as
Right. It was looking for more viewership in commercials, and
huh.
he had been in the NASCAR community, and
Oh, okay.
he thought it was all gonna work.
Mm.
Anyway,
That's interesting. I've never heard of a league doing that before.
I don't think you ever see a league do that because
No.
the startup cost is very high. I threw some money, a couple other drivers threw some money, this here, and
The demand's
we
just not there for it
yeah,
right now.
no,
All right.
no.
So I interrupted. You keep going.
Okay, so anyway, after it all went down, we decided we're not sticking around anymore. And here's what's bad. I think Brady was second in points. I was running third or fourth in points, and we just left it.
Mm.
So we got talking, me and my son and Brady. We had gotten real close, had talked a lot, and like he said, we used to practice. Oh my God, 2 or 3 times a week whenever I was home. We just practice. And we got talking about it's like, hey man, I think we could do this. I don't think it'd be that hard. Well, little did we know, it's not that hard to start it up, but it's very hard to get it off the ground. Let's say season 1, season 2, season 3, and keep it moving and getting off the ground. That's the hardest part for it. But that's the origin story of how NASRA came into being. Me, Brady, and my son Austin, mostly me and Brady. Austin was off and on. We got it started, and then we had a ton of help from Clinton Sneed. He's one of the guys that he does the Sim Racer Hub now. He set us up a website. He got us really involved with a lot of ways to manage it. It was a big deal for us at the time.
Yeah, because what season 1 and I think season 2 was Sneed competition design or
Right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's his web design. That was the Xfinity series. That was several things. We tried to incorporate it into a lot. He just did tons of work. And what people didn't know with him at the time was he worked for JGR. He was one of the engine techs at Joe Gibbs Racing. So he was busy as could be. And it was just nice of him to help us out, try to be professional in the beginning. And he finally just had this other things going on, and he split away from what we were doing.
I didn't realize Clinton was working for JGR.
Yeah, he works on the Toyota IMSA team now. He wanted a different challenge. He tunes the engines. He was just at the Rolex.
Yeah.
He runs it. He runs his own pro stock drag race team. But yeah, he was a big time road crew guy for JGR. Tuned all the motors.
Yeah, Clinton was racing, or he was running Thursday Night Thunder.
Yeah.
And I was racing in that league for a little bit, so I've raced with him before in his league as well.
Yeah, he's a super guy.
Yeah, he's cool as crap.
Yep.
So, I guess we won't go into as much.
You and Brady started up and just start hosting. I know I met you.
Yeah.
First time I ever met you was in a recruitment race.
Yeah.
Just in a hosted race, man. And you contacted me via iRacing email, I guess you would say, and asked me to start NASRA, dude. And it just took off. It was awesome.
Yeah. See, it started while we were still with this other league. I started an ARCA series. Just we were trying to do the driver development thing, like we always talk about, all that. So the driver development. Well, from that comes Chris Cinnamon, Rhett Tucker, Keith Bradley, Clinton Sneed, Ryan Wolf, all these guys. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. I think Dittmer signed up for it, and they kind of gave us a little base to start. And from there, yeah, it was recruitment races week after week, and time after trying to find enough guys to actually make it work.
Michael actually brought me into the league.
What's that?
Michael.
I said Michael brought me into the league. You hosted some recruitment races when NASRA was trying to start up the developmental truck series. I think it was right around season 3 or season 2. Y'all were doing that.
Season 2. Yeah, season 2.
So we raced at Talladega for one recruitment race. Then we went to Chicago, and I spanked you at Chicago.
Whoa!
I remember that. I spanked Michael. Michael finished second to me.
I remember that one. Yeah, you were in like the 77 truck or something like that.
Wasn't 77.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember. Yeah, who knows? But
yeah, you got out there and I couldn't get you reeled back in time.
Yeah, but Michael was like, "Yeah, you beat me at my favorite track," and I was like, "Well, this is one of my favorite tracks." And so, so Michael was actually the one that brought me into the league. So if there's credit I can give to Michael, that's it.
I brought in several guys, and since then Brady's brought in several guys. I guess in the building of the league, I guess what I found the hardest, and I'll admit it to everybody who wants to watch this and who's watching now, the hardest part for me was managing egos. Okay, I thought I'm 51 years old now. When this started, I was 49. I just come off getting heart stents. I wanted to chill out and have fun, and I thought everybody else did too. That's how naive I was. I'm like, we're just getting together, man. We're having fun. And then I realized, no, this is real, man. This is as real a competition as if I went and got in a car and drove. To these people, this is competition. And then you start dealing with egos, and this guy's upset and that guy's, and it started to get so overwhelming to me. And I think you guys know me enough. I've got a pretty hair trigger temper after a while. I mean, pretty hair triggered. And when I'm not getting mad, I'm holding it all in, and then I explode. Well, that came out toward the end of season 3. And finally, I'm like, thank God Brady's here to keep this going. I said, here, you can have this thing. I can't take it anymore. If guys could understand, I'm sure other league owners understand. I cannot give enough praise to Brady for what he has done since I gave it to him.
Yeah.
Because to me, I think me and Brady were kind of different philosophically. To me, I thought I had to make everybody happy all the time. So I've got 55 threads going on my chat all the time. This guy did this to me. This guy's this. What's going on? Blah, blah. Well, Brady eliminated that. Here's a Discord. If you got a problem, go in there and talk about it. He said, but I'm busy. If you don't like it, we'll get somebody else to do it. And
Hmm.
I never thought that would retain guys. But that
Well, in your
Brady's
defense,
Brady gives he gives it structure.
in your defense though, in the beginning, from season one, season three, if that's the way you approach everything all the
Yeah.
time, then it's not gonna grow where it was. I feel like he did great. Like he's definitely, like you said, season three to now on what's happened and the
Yep.
approach that he's going is awesome. But if if he does that season one through three, you may not have the people that you have in it now. People might say, you know what, I'm done with this. This is too much, or nothing's being done, or this guy ran into me, and nothing. You know what I mean? Because in seasons
Yeah.
one through three, there was a lot of guys. You guys were trying to build. You're trying to get a lot of people in there, and there was a lot of guys in there that maybe shouldn't have been racing here and there. Maybe some guys would show up during the season and kind of mess things up. And there was one lipstick dude that completely
Yeah.
ruined a whole race for people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
stuff like that's not happening anymore because
Well,
everybody
there's
comes
the
in knowing how serious the league is compared to season one, season two. It was just kind of, all right, let's get this going. So he he walked into a great little spot, but he did do a great job. Keep on climbing with NASRA. You know what I
well,
mean?
Brady was always the guy I would confide in. He probably listened to me bitch more than anybody. I'm like, I don't know how, but at that time, you got to remember, guys, we had Cup Series, we had an Xfinity Series, we had a Dirt Midget Series, we had the
Yeah.
Truck Series. I was doing the same as what Brady's doing now. I was doing all the points. I'm doing all the payouts. I'm out in my truck trying to do my job, and I'm doing payouts till midnight.
Hmm.
We're trying to review races.
Yeah.
Finally it just overwhelmed me. But let's be honest.
And now Brady has a team to help him with all that. There's
Well,
a
there's
support
more
group that's
guys.
kind of
Sure,
helping them out through all those things. So
there's more guys involved now, but Brady's still doing tons of work. But let's be honest, what he did do that I didn't do. We thought we had the rule book and there's the structure. No, what he did was he created a culture and a structure where guys can be happy. You got different places that you can race. Just please understand, if you have a problem, if you're going to have a problem with anybody, protest it to this. This panel will do this, and these guys will do that. Don't bring it to me. Take it to the panel, and we'll figure it out. What I did is I answered all the dang chats, and I overwhelmed myself. But he has brought a structure to this that I probably wouldn't have never got to just because I tried to appease absolutely everyone.
You
yeah,
gotta be
for
a
sure.
people person in that position. That's definitely a hard. If you're getting 50 million messages a day, it would drive me nuts. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, it was that at one point. I'm sure it is to a certain point with Brady now. It's overwhelming.
Oh yeah, there's
I wish
times where he'll say, you know what, I'm taking a break from this chat. I'll talk to you guys in a week or two,
100%.
and then he'll come
Yeah.
back in and go right back at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Oh
only
yeah.
imagine. And like I said, to do all that, you all talked about this guy, the money not equaling up, and this guy may be pocketing this and pocketing that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. With everything that Brady does, I feel like he should pocket some money, but at the same time, you shouldn't lie about how much you pocketed or lie about
Right.
not pocketing
Right.
any at all. I do feel like, dude, like if you're gonna do that much, I told him 2 seasons ago, man, if you're gonna do that much, why aren't you taking a little something off for you? You know what I mean? You're putting in the work and the hours to do that, but man, to not take anything, not benefit
Yeah.
at all besides just race, and that's like he just put, the board gave him a penalty for jumping the start. He just
Yeah.
lost out $100.
Yeah.
To do all this, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man.
And the
He's a
crazy
good
thing
he's a good
is,
guy to do all that.
the
Both
crazy
of
thing
you guys
is,
starting it up.
and I can't say this with 100% certainty, but I hear this from people, is that Brady doesn't pocket any money anyway. He just takes
Nope.
No,
whatever
he
it
doesn't
is and he
pocket
puts
a
it
he
right
doesn't
back in the
pocket a
league.
cent, bro. He doesn't at all,
Nope.
and I'm baffled by
Neither.
that. I know if I started it, I would want something, so I wouldn't have anybody join my shit because they'd come to NASRA instead. But I
Well,
wouldn't
neither
do
one
all
of
that
us
without
have.
pocketing anything.
No, neither one of us ever has. At the most we've ever taken is a free race entry
Yeah,
once in a while.
yeah,
It's we didn't like how it worked out with that other guy because we just saw how it went down, and all of a sudden it was bad, and we knew it. And there's no possible way to sustain if guys think, hey, I'm just paying him. You know what I mean? If they feel like they're giving him their money, they're not going
no,
to stay
I'm not
around.
saying you should be out here like paying the bills doing this, but
No, no.
you should
Right.
be compensating your time for what you're putting in there.
Yeah.
If it's a free entry if it's 5 free entries per year or something, Brady should be getting something out of it for sure. Maybe we should start throwing him little tips, a little tip jar, old man tip jar. We'll start it up right now.
Yeah, if you guys only knew when this started, man. He ran these leagues on spreadsheets.
Yeah,
He
I
has
mean,
every person's entry, and today he has the same thing. Every person pays an entry. He's got it all written down. If you want to use what you've got in the bank for your entries, he knows right to the cent. He is the most organized person I've ever ran into in my life.
yeah, I think we got to shout out, I guess, Cody Knott for helping out with big time on that stuff. I guess he's got that on Excel now. I think Brady touched on that when we talked about him, how he used to do it, the old school way. And I guess Cody's helping him out and putting it on Excel and whatnot now. So,
Yep.
however that works. But yeah, we got to shout out Cody. Cody's been a big help to the whole situation the past 3 seasons for sure.
Cody's been fantastic. He
I
has
mean,
been
he helped us out
fantastic.
with this podcast right here. It wouldn't
Yeah,
look like it is right
Yep.
now
yeah.
without him. So,
Yeah, 100%.
You gotta give a shout out to Cody for just really. Cody does all the behind the scenes work for this podcast. I've really done nothing. Cody's done most all the work.
He makes it look good anyway.
Yeah. So you are the owner of Triple M Pooling, correct?
I am.
And Triple M Pooling has been the title sponsor of the Friday Night Series for, has it been every season?
Yeah, I think second season on.
Second season
think.
on. So
I
that's you contribute a lot of that to you, I guess. Getting all that you put a lot of into this league that not a lot of people know
Yeah.
about.
what is
Yeah,
Triple M Pulling, Michael?
Triple M Pulling is me, my dad, and my nephew. It's on Facebook. We haven't touched it in a while, but we had a tractor pulling team, and
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
and it's McKinnon, McElfresh. Our last names are 3M, so it was Triple M Pulling.
dang,
Now everybody thinks it's my trucking business. That's not.
See, that's what I
that's
thought.
what I
That's
thought.
why I asked,
See,
and then you hit me with that.
It's not. It's a tractor pulling team. It had a good ring to it, and
now hold on a second. Tractor
that
pulling.
was it. Yeah.
Is this what y'all do in Indiana?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Illinois.
Illinois. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Oh, he
tomato,
hit you.
tomato. All right.
No,
Look.
it's all
Happy.
over. It's all over the Midwest. And if you were to go to, let's say, Louisville, Kentucky here in a couple weeks, it's a National Farm Machinery Show.
Yeah.
And when those things pull on the track, man, they cost more than your average NASCAR car. I will guarantee you. And when they explode, they cost more than your average NASCAR car.
Yeah,
I will guarantee you that.
Really?
It's around here, West Virginia, and there's a lot of
100%.
trucks. They do it with trucks as well. I mean, obviously instead of just tractors, but yeah, it's
We have a
crazy.
guy. We have a guy here in my hometown. He runs a Case International. He got
Yeah.
offered $300,000 for it, and he didn't take the offer. He was going to lose money on it. The engine cost almost that on those things.
That's
They're
crazy.
alcohol burning overhead cam, 4,000 horsepower.
Beast.
I don't know.
So that's what they do. We didn't do that.
Have y'all ever heard? I'm sure y'all have heard of Greenville Pickens Speedway. I wish
Sure.
iRacing would add Greenville Pickens Speedway because that's like a place where Richard Petty used to race, Kel Yarborough used to race, Dale Earnhardt used to race there, Dale Earnhardt's dad used to race there, Ralph Earnhardt. So I went up
That
there
sounds.
one time and they were racing big rigs, like 18-wheeler big rigs around that racetrack, and I mean those things were freaking huge going around there. So I just
I don't
picture
think.
that.
I don't think mine would work very good. No, tractors, actual
Well,
farm
right,
tractors.
yeah, it just makes me picture that in my head.
Yeah. No, that's what we did it for years. I've been out of it for about 2 years now. The cost
Mm.
was little too high for what you can win.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say you probably
I
don't
can
win
win.
much. I don't know.
You can win more doing this than what we were getting paid to drive 3 hours to go do. So
Oof,
That's funny. That's
no
crazy.
fun.
that's
Talk
Yeah,
crazy.
no
about what
fun.
I wish they would add in iRacing is go karts. Did any of you guys ever race go karts growing up, or have any
Yeah,
friends
Nah.
race go karts?
I
Nope.
never raced go karts, but I went to a lot of like electric go kart tracks. I never raced anything
Oh, okay.
other than that. But that, yeah, I do wish they would add some go karts on here. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Some oval dirt go karts. That's where I
Dirt,
grew up.
either
Grew up
dirt go
watching them.
karts or asphalt go karts. It don't matter, you know.
They do them over